Hello and welcome to Race Versus coverage of Round 7 of the Reddit IndyCar League's Daredevil Turbo Series, coming to you from the club circuit at Sebring International, where we get to see a little bit different than what we saw last night with the big Indy cars, as we will see a seen very often club circuit that they chose to race the PM18s on this week. And we have about 43 laps ahead of us on that. It's about 1 mile and 3/4 in length. Currently, we're about 3 minutes and 45 seconds away from the end of qualification. Michael Janey is currently your provisional pole sitter, and Alex Van de Sant, who's 3/10 back, Ragster 4/10 back, and Yoshikawa 6/10 back. I want to thank everyone joining us from home, joining us from the tap room, joining us from the brewery and restaurant. Thank you for making us a part of your evening. Feel free to interact with us. Have a shout out to your driver. We'll make sure that your favorite driver, will get them on the screen for you. Hit us up in chat. We already got someone saying let's go. I like it already. So here we go. So let's look at last week's results from Mid-Ohio. Boom, there you go. As you saw from last week, if you joined us, it was Ragster with the win over Van de Sant, who came from deep in the field. Pandev, P3, Janey, who also came back from deep in the field to finish 4th, and Daniel Smith rounded out the top 5. Your point situation, Wes Shire is still your leader over James Curtis in P2. Dan Mack has fallen down to P3. Simon Fells maintained P4, and Alex Van de Sant has climbed 2 spots to P5. Also climbing from last week's performance, Pandev, Ragster, and Janey also climbed a couple extra rungs in the ladder here. +3 for Pandev, +7 for Ragster, +2 for Janey, as they are now within the top 10. Still not out of this yet. There's about 5 more rounds to go. We got 2 more road courses and 3 more ovals, and we'll show you the what's left of the schedule here as we get into the dog days of the race, the middle portions. Speaking of the race, and we're about 1:50 left here in qualifications. We're still standing pat with the current provisional pole sitter Janey and Van de Sant, Ragster, Yoshikawa, Cosgrove now in P5. We are probably not looking at any pit stops tonight. If we are, it's going to be right at the very end where it might be a splash and dash. Some conversations with some of the drivers says if you can conserve, you might be able to make this and no stop. So we will see how the pit situation and pit strategy is going to play out. Maybe someone wants to just tear off and go into the distance, run away from everybody, build up that delta, and then make a stop and splash there right at the end. Or maybe someone will want to kind of hang around 3rd or 4th place and see what happens as the leaders in front of them run out of gas or half the pit. We'll see. And anytime you talk about a race with fuel save, you got to look at Alex Van de Sant. Now, minute left in qualifying here. Janey, Van de Sant, Ragster, Yoshikawa, Cosgrove, Fell, Smith, Putnam, Shire, Curtis are your top 10. Let's get a high eye view here. There's about 30 seconds left. You see that once you see the kind of cars go around, it's not a very big course. This is the casino straight right here. This is the part of the big course, and it will come into the casino hairpin here at the end. And this is still the main course that you you saw the Indy cars running last night. And we're about 4 seconds. We'll look more at this situation with the track here and how it's laid out here a little bit later in the race. For now, let's get to our starting grid. Your pole sitter is Michael Janey with a 59.8, followed by Alex Van de Sant, who is 3/10 back. P3, Savion Ragster. P4, Yoshikawa. P5, Cosgrove. And P6, Fell. Onto the back half here, Daniel Smith, P7, Derek Putnam, P8, Wes Shire, P9, James Curtis, P10, the boss man, Matt Houston, P11, and Mike McCullen in P12. A little further on back, Michael Hanekamp with a good run, P13. Alex Teeter, P14. Alex Zimkowski, one of the regulars in the Schaefer series, P15. Tony Patty, P16. Ivan Pandev will be getting a EOL for a penalty suffered a couple races ago. Unfortunately, it was not enforced at Mid-Ohio. It will be enforced this week as he will be starting 17th. And Logan Spaeth, P18. And that is it. As everybody is gridding up, so we are waiting to get moving here. A lot of folks like to take last absolute second to grid up. Other folks will choose to start from the pits. Looks like we're starting to fill in those gaps. There is your pole sitter there. The teal and white car on the inside there. And then right there, Alex Vanasat in the 317 in the gray and purple. Right next to him, right behind the iRacing Mustang pace car as we are underway for the formation lap. We'll get a good look at the field as they make a full tour around. Again, it's a mile and 3/4. This is actually what the real-life Indy cars used when they came down here, or sometimes they still come down here for spring training. And there is the start of the race. Pace car is off, and we are underway as Janey takes Vanasant into turn 1 with a solid lead. Ragster holds P3, and Yoshikawa P4. There's only one real passing area here, and we will see that at the hairpin. "43 laps. Janey's starting to pull a little bit of a lead here, coming through the S's into the Casino Straight. And coming down to the Casino hairpin. This is about your only braking zone for passing right here. So unfortunately, you might be looking at a bit of a parade. We shall see. We are still very early into this event. Only one now, starting second lap of 43. They're going to go by quick. I mean, you're looking at about a minute a lap, so this is not going to be an extraordinarily long race. Don't rest, because you'll be missing most of it. The Team Renovo, they've got their office watch party going, the Zoom. Okay, all right. Or maybe not, we'll see. But welcome to you guys. Thanks for making us a part of your evening, cheering on your team. As you see, you're currently holding positions 1 and 3. On board with Alex Vanasant. Coming down to what they could call the tower turn in the full circuit. Again, pulling a little bit of a lead, a 0.8 of a second here. Now they entered the temporary smaller portion of the course, the club circuit. Come through here, and then they'll rejoin the larger circuit there on the Casino Straight. The start-finish line is in an odd spot, too. Take a look in the back. We got a bit of a battle with Yoshikawa and Ragster. Yoshikawa's taking a look to the inside there in the braking zone. Thought better of it. Ragster still has the position. Ragster was our winner last week, and unfortunately we did not get him on the air. Hopefully we will get him back in the booth so we can talk to him about... Give him his dessert right there for winning the race, man. Let him talk. On board with Yoshikawa, who's got himself a 2-second lead on Smith. A little bit further back, here's Simon Fell. This is one of your closest battles on the racetrack. Fell and Cosgrove battle for 6th. This is one of the closest battles on the racetrack. Oh, Cosgrove blinking a little bit there. Right there on the front. Heavy braking zone. Gets right up close to him. No contact. Great entrance into that turn. Let's go back up to the front. Now the battle is here again, as this is the closest battle on the racetrack. Van de Sant cut it down to 3/10 after Ragster almost got it up to about a second. Again, these Cooper tires on these cars extremely hard. Keep in mind that when IndyCar used these for their Indy Light series, they did not do pit stops. So these tires were meant to last an entire run, an entire race. So these guys, these tires are still coming into their prime, even at lap 5. Alex is right there, trying to find a way around. Again, not very many passing zones. Here he goes. Going to take a look to the outside now, coming into the tower turn. He's not going to be able to pull that off. It's the long way around. Oh, he's going to take a switch over, crossover through the S's. Still side by side. He might actually have the position coming in here. They're still side by side. Onto the rumble strips, a little bit of the dirt, but Michael Janey holds on. Van de Sant follows right behind. This is the battle on the racetrack, the primary battle. There's not very many close battles already. We got a number of people already out. Space, McCullen, Heinekamp, Pandev, Teeter, all out for some reason. Not sure exactly what happened there. Must happen further on back as we were watching some battles. Van de Sant on the outside, the long way around through the Casino hairpin, still side by side, going down the Fangio straight. Cunningham corner and the Collier curve. Tower turn. I believe this is called Rabbit Bend coming up. This is Flying Fortress Straight. Interesting because this is a former U.S. Army Air Base from World War II. Coming back onto Gurney Bend here. Van de Sant with the lead now over Janey. Got that position. Janey's looking again. He's going to pull to the outside this time. Into the Casino hairpin. No, he's not going to be able to pull it off. Van de Sant has the line, the preferred way through. Down the Fangio straight. All right, so we still have Pandev is still in the car and running, was what we hear from their race control. Well, you can see him kind of floating through there, get a little happy on the backside there. That's going to open up a possibility for Janey to kind of get back closer and see they slide through the turns there. So these tires are getting a little hot right now. Actually, the track temperature is pretty hot. We're talking a 79 ambient, 129 on the track surface itself. So these cars are going to be dancing around as it starts to get more rubber laid down and hot and slippery. Janie lays back a little bit on this one coming into the casino hairpin. Again, thank everyone for joining from either the Daredevil Brewery tap room or the restaurant, the brewery, or if you're at home or with a watch party cheering on your favorites. Thank you for joining us. This is Race First coverage round 7 of the Daredevil Turbo Series. We are coming to you from Sebring International on the club circuit. Current leader 9 laps in. We're almost a quarter of the way through here. Alex Van de Sant, followed by Michael Janey and Savion Ragster, make up your top 3. Yoshikawa and Smith are your top 5. Going on back, Cosgrove, Shire, Fell, Curtis, and Houston in your top 10. Still a long ways to go. And Van de Sant is coming up on lapped traffic. That is Michael Hannekamp just in front of him by about 2.5 seconds. There is Tower Turn. Here comes the Flying Fortress Straight, followed by Rabbit Bend. Here we go. Now let's watch as they navigate around the slower traffic. It's probably a good spot maybe for Michael to look in the rear view. Let's see what happens here. Oh, and we have contact! Contact with the slower car and Alex Van de Sant. Michael Janey gets by. That's definitely not what you want to see. Janey now has the lead. I'm sure Hannekamp feels horrible as Team Renovo now holds the top 2 steps of the podium. There's Alex Van de Sant rejoining in P6 right behind Cosgrove. Sure, he is a little unhappy right now as he gets the inside position here into the braking zone. Cosgrove's going to go ahead and give it to him. Right behind Cosgrove is your points leader in the championship, a West Shire, right there. As he gets a little squirrely coming out of that acceleration zone there. Gets it back under control. Homestead Coffee livery. Here we go. Michael Janey just kind of starting to run his own pace, kind of slowly pulling away. We want to thank Daredevil Brewery for sponsoring the series and being the title sponsor. Daredevil is a fixture of the Indy craft beer scene. Their main brewery and tap room is located on Main Street there in Speedway, right across the street from 4-time winner AJ Foyt's own garages there in Speedway, Indiana. Not too far from the main gates of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Also have a beer hall that you can go enjoy the beers and some food. Up near Keystone at the Crossing, just off of Nora, right there on Keystone and Nora. Not too far from the Carmel area there. But check them out. Daredevil Brewing is one of the largest production breweries in Indiana. It's located, of course, in Speedway. Their #1 IPA is the #1 selling IPA in Indiana. It's called the Lift Off IPA. And Lift Off is a classic West Coast style IPA made with a bounty of American hops, and it has a clean and crisp finish. Daredevil distributes beers in 4-packs, 12-packs, and on draft across the state of Indiana. Still working on multiple other states as well. So if you're interested in having yourself a Daredevil brew, check your local liquor store and see if they have them in stock. They were awarded the Indiana Brewery of the Year for 2018. See if they can pull one for 2020 or 2021 here. Champs be champing. Janie here holds the lead. 14 of 43. And I don't think we're looking at any pit stops, folks. I had a little time to go through the field here. There's Janie. Here is Ragster, who is about 4 seconds behind his teammate here in P2. Here's Yoshikawa in P3. A great showing for him. Daniel Smith, a little further back in the 95, coming into the braking zone here. He is in P4. P5, Alex Van de Sant. Sure, a very frustrated Alex Van de Sant right now. Recovered to P5. He is slowly running down Daniel Smith to get that position back. Maybe too much track position was given up that he can recover. We will see. We saw him come from a way back at Mid-Ohio. Still plenty of time left. More than half the race to go here. Right behind him, and actually a pass for position, is Wes Shire, your points leader. Gets around John Cosgrove and is now in 6th spot. Looking out the back of Cosgrove right here. Pretty smooth sailing from behind him. Because here's behind him, here's Simon Fell. Like about 6 seconds back from Simon here is James Curtis, who is P2 in the championship. And here's the boss man Matt Houston coming down into the casino hairpin. Who has Derek Putnam right on him there. Shoot me, that's not Derek Putnam. That is Pandev. Yeah, that's 99 Pandev. Yeah, Matt just kind of moves on over. Matt's just not here in the championship, just enjoying some laps. Lets the faster car through. Here's a sky view. Told you it's not a very big course. This is a tower turn right here. Flying Fortress Straight. A little bit further back, here is Derek Putnam in P11. Alex Zimkowski in the Menards livery in P12, sliding around, followed by Alex Teeter. And Heinekamp is in pit road right there. The pit road has kind of an odd position. It's like in the middle of the infield. And he is joined by their Tony Patty there, just sitting right to the rear of him as well. Back up front, let's take a high view here. Up into Race Verse 1 airship. This is the Collier curve. Coming into the tower turn. Down the Flying Fortress Straight. Hitting Rabbit Bend. Little turn down here. Then they join, they're on the main course from Sebring International, the main touring course, sports car course. Gurney Bend. Shouldn't have to tell you who that's really named after. Down to the Casino Hairpin. And then up the Fangio Straight. So there you go. It's not a very big course. As we told you, if the Indy cars were running here, you'd probably be looking at maybe 45-second laps, 50-second laps. They would be incredibly short. Gaining out to a 5.9-second lead. But Yoshikawa is right there. That is the closest battle on the racetrack. Let's go back to this battle for a second. We got Ragster and Yoshikawa. That is they're less than a second apart right here. That is the closest battle. Oh, Ragster getting a little squirrely under acceleration there, coming out of the chicanes. Not much of a chicane. They kind of drive a straight line through them. A braking zone here. No one not really close enough to get a look. Getting the left sides on the grass there a little bit. This battle also has points implications. Gonna take a look to the inside there. Not going to be able to make it. Down Cunningham corner. And right there, you just saw one of the side roads that lead back onto the track. That is the pit out. Oh, he goes wide. Yoshikawa goes wide. That's going to be costly, and that's also going to put him back into the grasp of Daniel Smith. That's a costly braking zone. Here's a good battle on the racetrack now developing as you got Yoshikawa, who missed that braking zone, has got fallen into the clutches of Daniel Smith, who is in the clutches of Alex Van de Sant. This is all a battle for position. Overall battle for third, ultimately, as that's what we're looking at here. Points leader West Shire is now in P6. Cosgrove 7th, Fell 8th, Curtis 9th, Putnam 10th. Join Matt Houston in the pits. He might be calling it a day. Smith, bit of a fishtail coming there on the acceleration zone. No traction control on these things. Well, there is traction control. It's your right foot. Alex taking a peek, letting them know he's there. And he's within grasp now because he took a wide line through that chicane area. Inside, got the position, and it is done through the tower from Cunningham corner, actually, rather. There's that pit out road right there that you see. So Dan Smith back to P5 now. And Alex Vanessa. Oh my goodness, that's Ragster. That's P2. That's P2 as he spun off. Let's, you know, that's going to be, we should run that back and see what happened just a little bit. Under braking, just comes around on him. Does not make contact with the tire barrier. There's a very safe return to the track. Very good on him. So we are now back under live conditions here as he's getting run down by West Shire. This is a battle of the racetrack. Wondering if those tires are just done right now, and not sure. I mean, they should last a full stint. Track temperature has gone up. It's 131 degrees now. West taking a slightly wider line there through the curve. Trying to find probably a better angle of attack there. Down the Gurney Bend, he takes a look to the inside at the Casino hairpin. Ducks back in. Holds position both on the braking. Heading on to the Fangio straight. So we've had a couple things happen on the track. We had something happen with Yoshikawa because he is back to 7th now. Oh, who's off the track there? Not sure. Cycle through who is. Not sure who that was off into the grass there. Alex Teeter. That's who it was. That was Alex Teeter. So he has got the tow. He is going to make the trip back to pit road, get some repairs, and hopefully rejoin the race. We're just a little past halfway now. Again, everybody from home, thanks for joining us. We are 26 of 43 in here, round 7 of the Reddit IndyCar League's Daredevil Turbo Series. Current leader is Michael Janey, followed by Alex Vandesan, who has worked his way back up to P2 after experiencing some slower traffic and a spin coming into the Casino straight, or Casino hairpin rather, that allowed Janey to make the move on Vandesan. Vandesan had a small off there, recovered, fell as low as 6th, has worked his way back up to 3rd. We should be about 2nd, but they're showing Daniel Smith. I wonder if did Vandesan have an off? Let's check that out. I don't know. He might have had an off. Yes, he did. He did have it off, and that allowed Daniel Smith by. He gets off into the dirt there. Again, same zone, same area that caught out Ragster, and Dan Smith gets the position back. And Alex coming into the pits. I think he's had enough. I think he's going to go for new tires. Yeah. So I don't think we really have to pit, but if you can do tire management, you're good to go. And he's like, man, I want some new grip. And he rejoins the course behind Yoshikawa. So current leader is Michael Janey. As we look up, here he is, coming into the Casino hairpin. A lot of fishtail going on. Has a 15-second lead over Dan Smith. Can he manage the gap and these tires going away at the same time? Got to watch these braking zones too. You almost got to back the corner up a little bit. So we got some shake-up here. We got Dan Smith now P2. Right behind him is Ragster, who's recovering. He's got himself back into a podium position. And, oh, there's our points leader. Shire going in for a pit stop. Like regularly scheduled. Simon Fell also in the pits. He's coming out. So yeah, getting a little squirrely. Can he? He still has a 15-second lead. Smith is fighting the same battle. They're in the same boat. Him, Ragster, Cosgrove, Yoshikawa. Now the first car that is pitted out of this bit is Vanessant. But I don't think Vanessant's going to be able to, if Janey pits, everyone pits ahead of him, I don't think Vanessant will be able to jump that number of positions. Ragster, I think he might be headed to pit road. Oh, wait a minute, he might have had an off. Oh, Alex Vanessant working his way around. Oh! I wonder if Ragster had another off. We'll see here. We'll run back a little bit further. Okay, he had a pit. Yeah, that was a regularly scheduled pit stop, so he is good to go to the end for sure with good rubber. Here comes our leader with lap traffic in front of him. There's P3 in the points, James Curtis, as Janey makes his way through the corner. And he has another lap car in front of him, and his teammate, Ivan Pandev. And I'm sure that Ivan will probably make Michael's time to get by him a little bit easier than normal. Cosgrove showing Cosgrove in the pits. So now we got 13 laps remaining. So the only cars that have not pitted is Michael Janey and Daniel Smith. P1 and P2. Do they dare go the distance? No, he does not. He is going to pit road right here. Your leader is in. Daniel Smith, a deficit of about 16 seconds on Janey. He is working his way around. He has not stopped. And Janey makes it out in front of Smith. So Smith is unable to, even with worn tires and with Janey sitting still on pit road, he's unable to run him down. And now he's in a very dangerous spot where he is on extremely worn tires, and he has everyone behind him with new tires. They're going to be running him down. Wonder what type of adjustments he's making in the car. Is he backing the corners up? Is he changing the brake bias a little bit to kind of move the braking power forward a little bit? No, he's coming into the pit. He's like, that's it, I'm doing it. Everyone else is pitted. He is making the last stop. This is going to give up second place, and it's going to give it back to Alex Vanessant here. Vanessant and Yoshikawa will get the position on Dan Smith. Dan Smith is down and away, and he is good to go to the finish, but he has lost some valuable track position through that exchange of pit stops. So the early stop by Vanessant looks like it's paying off. Again, while everyone else is playing checkers, this man is playing chess, and he has strategically worked his way up into P2 now with that early stop. Let's go ahead. Let's take a lap here around the course. Oh. Gurney Bend here is coming into. I'll point out the major landmarks here for you. There's the casino there on the left coming up here. And this casino straight coming into the casino hairpin. 5th gear. Getting it down to 2nd. Collecting the car behind him as it wants to break away. He's on to the Fangio chicane here, or that's what they call it, the Fangio chicane. It's the Fangio straight. Somewhere in there is the start-finish line. Here's Cunningham Corner, followed by the Collier Curve and the Pit Out Road right there. And this is Tower Turn. And the Flying Fortress Straight. Rabbit Bend, and that's where a lot of the cars have been having problems today. A little left, a little right. And we are back here on the main course. Back down the Gurney Bend into the Casino Straight. And the Casino Hairpin. That is one lap here around the club course here at Sebring International. The club course, I don't know who holds the track record here. They have that information. I don't think they do. A lot of SCCA and clubs and that type of thing run here, so there's probably multiple type record holders here. We're still riding along with Alexander Sant, as he is 15 seconds abreast of Michael Janey now with 9 laps to go. Here's Michael Janey coming down the Fangio Straight here. The start-finish line somewhere in there. They don't clearly mark it. It is before. It is before the pit in there. While we got time, let's take a look at how are we doing right now with the point situation. Is we see Shire now is worked his way up to 6th place. James Curtis, who is P2 in the championship standings, is now 9th. P9. Dan Mack is not in the lineup. Simon Fell is P4 in the championship, is currently P8 on the race course. Alex Van de Sant, who is 5th in the championship, is currently 2nd on the course. Pandev, who is 6th in the championship, is back at 11th, a couple laps down right now. Ragster, 7th in the championship, he is currently in 4th, so he's looking to gain. And Janey, who is 8th in the championship, currently is in the master position of making up the most spots here, as he is currently your leader. Let's take a look. Oh, he gets off into the dirt there a little bit. Keeps it under power. Keeps it straight. Let's take a look at the schedule, where we next week go to Iowa with the 7/8 of a mile, or 7/10 of a mile, Iowa D-shaped speedway there. A short track that runs like a super speedway. 17 seconds a lap with the big cars. These guys are going to be in the, I guess, the 19-20 second range, I guess. These cars run great there. In fact, last year in the Turbo Series, there was a fantastic pack race there for these cars. Unfortunately, they took everybody out, and yours truly was actually in that race. And I laid back to the point that I finished 3rd by letting carnage happen in front of me. But these cars run great there if they can keep them off each other. at Iowa. Then they'll take a week off. Then we'll go to Long Beach, then Milwaukee, Laguna Seca, and then Gateway. 6 laps to go. I want to thank everybody who's watching us from home, watch parties, Zoom parties, you name it. If you're in the tap room, at the Daredevil Brewery, at the restaurant, the main bar, the main restaurant, the tap room, you name it, wherever you might be within the Daredevil environment there, thank you for joining us. Eat a lot and drink conservatively. Also join us next Wednesday where the Reddit IndyCar League Schaefer Cup, which is the big cars, the IR18, they will also be running at Iowa, and myself and Matt Houston will bring you that coverage about 7:30 on next Wednesday, where we will be seeing those cars to do 160 laps around the place. That will go by really quick, and they do about 17, 18 seconds a lap. Michael Janey has James Curtis in front of him by about 3 seconds. Track temp has gone up again. It's 132 degrees. Still 79 degrees ambient, a light breeze. A lot of open spaces here. If the wind was any more stiff, they would probably be affecting the drivers, but we're not really looking at that at all. The closest battle on the racetrack at the moment is right here, where we have Ragster, who is just about a second and a half away from Yoshikawa, and Dan Smith is about a second and a half back from this. So about an equal distance to the car in front, to the car behind him. Running out of time, though. But still, we've seen, especially under this braking zone right here, definitely seen a lot of cars get squirrely under acceleration there coming out of that corner. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's we were just getting ready to say we don't want to give anybody, we don't want to crown anybody yet. That's going to allow Smith to cut into that lead a little bit. Yeah, you can just kind of, even through that on car here where you're on the roll bar, you can just kind of feel how the car wants to rotate from the rear under braking, and he's fighting it to keep it straight. Even running down Yoshikawa. Yoshikawa and the Skyline Chili, number 98 there. He's been in the battle, the thick of it, pretty much all season long. One thing leads to another that's kind of prevented him from having that breakout performance. He is on his way to a podium finish, but let's not give it to him yet. And I don't want to give him the broadcaster jinx. According to a lot of the guys in the Schaefer Cup last night, Matt and I were giving the broadcaster jinx to quite a few people. So we'll see. Oh! Ragster goes off wide. And I think Dan Smith got around him. Yes, Dan Smith did get around him. So Dan Smith now moves up to P4. Let's get back on with Michael Janey as we are coming around. The last lap. All this time, I haven't really told you who the purple lap. The purple lap right now is Alex Van de Sant with a 59.629. We've been watching these individual battles play out. We will talk with Alex here in a little bit. And here he comes, your winner for the first win this season, Michael Janey, Team Renovo. Comes Alex Van de Sant with Alex Zimkowski right behind him. And there's the wave, the flagman. And let's see, Yoshikawa, there he goes. He gets the P3. So there is your podium. Let's get a look here at your final stats. There you go. Your winner tonight, first win of the season, Team Renovo wins again. Michael Janey is your winner, followed by Alex Van de Sant in P2. Nagasiya, and I'll ask him how to pronounce his name correctly, but I do know it's Yoshikawa, finishes third. Daniel Smith, P4, after just kind of hanging around the top 5 all day. Good finish on him. Ragster, kind of with an off there at the end, gave up the position to Smith, still recovers with a P5. West Shire, your points leader, has another consistent run. P6, John Cosgrove, P7, Simon Fell, P8. Your P2 in the championship, James Curtis, finishes 9th. And Ivan Pandev in 10th, so comes all the way from the back to get himself a top 10. Not a bad showing for having to start EOL. That's end of line. P11, Alex Zimkowski. P12, Derek Putnam. P13, Alex Teeter. P14, the boss man, Matt Houston. And P15, everyone from the Heinekamp camp. Here is your man, Michael Heinekamp, at P15. Rounding out the remainder of the field here, Tony Patty, Mike McCullen, and Logan Spaeth. I'm not sure if we had it off there in the early. I don't think Spaeth actually took the green, and we might have had a incident early on that collected McCullen. And Tony Patty looks like he had himself a tow and an extended period in the pits for some repairs, but he finishes 16th. So there is your finishing results. And then let's take a look here. See who is going to come to the booth. Okay, we got one waiting. And he is deafened, so I don't know if he wants to hear or not here. I don't see the winner popping in yet. We'll give him a chance to enjoy his victory. Let's bring up Yoshikawa. Hey there, Yoshikawa, got your ears on.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Okay, first things first. I gotta ask, help me with your first name.
Nagisa.
Nagisa, okay. All right. Yeah. I had the last name covered. I knew I was nailing that. I just knew I was butchering your first name all the time. Many apologies on that, but hey, great showing for you. I was telling people on the broadcast, you guys, you've been up around the leaders or with the leaders all season long, but for one thing or another, it's kind of prevented you from getting that breakout podium. Here's the podium. You're finally on the step. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it's just lots of unlucky moments this season, so finally good to put it together into a race. But yeah, pretty much just tried to drive consistent, and some of the other people around me, like Savion, had some issues. But yeah, I don't think I was as fast as Alex and Michael. They were pretty quick, and I tried to fight him a little bit near the end, but there wasn't much point. He was a lot faster. But yeah, good to finally get a podium, and yeah, really happy.
What was the situation like with those tires? Was it pretty hairy when those tires kind of went off?
It wasn't too bad to be honest. Like the track temp was really high, but
Mhm.
it didn't seem too bad. At Mid Ohio, I didn't do a tire change, and that was pretty bad. But I think I learned my lesson for this one, and um, yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Next week we return to the oval. It's going to be a short, fast oval at Iowa. Have you experienced there in these cars, and your thoughts of going into next week?
I'm excited. I haven't raced. I've done a little practice at Iowa, and obviously, like the official races are going there next week, so I should get some practice done with that. But definitely looking forward to it.
Well, now's your chance, man. You've kind of been waiting all season to get here. We finally got you here. Who would you like to say hi to and shout out to while we got you here on the first step with the podium?
I don't know. I'd like to say thanks to all the other competitors for racing clean, and yeah, shout out to my team and all that. Um, so yeah, glad to finally be here.
Glad to finally have you. Well, congrats on P3, and we'll check you out next week.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good one.
All right, let's bring up. Go ahead and bring up Alex here. Hey, Alex, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. The situation with the lapped traffic.
Yep. I mean, there were things I could have done to avoid that better, but he weaved on the straight. I didn't know if he was just gonna brake super early and give me the corner, or if he was just gonna fight me and hold me up for whatever reason, like on lap 3. But it happens. Then I made my own mistakes, which didn't help. I might have had a chance to catch Michael with my pace, but I ran wide a couple times. I was just driving angry after that, so it is what it is. Happy I was able to get second. Still good for the championship going forward. But yeah.
I think your move of the race was hitting pit road just about before everyone else. That seemed to be a bit of a masterful move because I think you hit pit road like a good maybe 2-3 laps before really everyone else started to come in. In fact, let me check the stats here. You pitted on let's see, you lap 27, and most everyone around you was like 28, 30th, and some other people were into the 40s. So you hit pit road the earliest out of everyone. While their tires were going off, you had fresh tires, and then finally when they hit pit road, you made up a lot of positions on those people. Was that the plan, to get on the pit road early, or are you just like, man, I can't stand these tires anymore and I just got to get them off?
No, I found myself overdriving it. I needed a reset just to keep it on the track and get going. The car almost always gets faster in the last few laps of the stint, so I was always planning to run it out, run it dry, and then go from there, because you can really put down some fast laps on low fuel. But with the pace I had, I knew I was always gonna undercut those guys pretty much no matter what I did. So I had to work for it a little bit, again, with those mistakes, but, worked out in the end. Yeah.
Was it possible to go the entire race without a stop?
No.
No, you had to stop? Okay.
You could only make it 31 laps.
31 laps? Okay. All right. Gotcha. All right. Well, that's... we didn't have that level of intelligence before in the pre-race. We were told that we probably could go the entire distance, so everyone definitely had to stop. So 30 sounds like 31, 32 laps. Next week, we're moving on to the oval. You race the ovals as equally as well as you do in the road courses. It's Iowa. These cars race great at Iowa. Your thought about moving on to the short track that races like a super speedway?
Yeah. No, I was tied for my favorite track on the surface, specifically in the Indy car, but it's also fun in this car. I've won the only official race I've done at Iowa in this car, so that's cool. In the official Indy Pro Series. So yeah, it's a great track. I know I'll have pace there. Hopefully it goes better than Phoenix.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are echoing that one too. So while we got you here, shout outs and anybody you want to say hi to?
Yeah, thanks to longtime supporters, lmcgear.com, Happy Trails Chili Company, and thanks to Raceverse for putting this on, as well as Daredevil Brewery for sponsoring this series.
He hits all the major talking points, folks. This is a pro. He's been here before. Well, thanks a lot, Alex. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week. P2 today. Maybe could have been a little bit better, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. Still rescued a nice day, good points recovery, and next week off to one of your favorite tracks. So looking pretty good. So congrats, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Gary.
All right, let's bring up our winner, Michael Janey. Michael, you got your ears on, man.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for being here. First win of the year. Actually, I think your most impressive run was last week when you came from dead last in the field and worked your way up to fourth place at a very difficult Mid-Ohio. This one, you had a bit of a battle with Alex, and then lap traffic kind of negated that one, and it was kind of a runaway at that point, maybe a bit of tire management at the end, but outside of the incident with the lap traffic and Alex going there into the casino hairpin, tell us about the rest of your race. It looks like it was pretty much by the book.
Yeah, so last week I did a lot of practice in terms of trying to get by people, because I knew that coming into some of the shorter track weeks, such as club here, if I was stuck in a position where I needed to get by somebody, I would have to go for it. And generally, I don't like to full send it on everybody. But I felt like in certain tracks, like Mid-Ohio, Sebring Club, I knew that if I was in the position, I had to do it. So I think the practice last week of getting by a bunch of people helped. It really sucks, actually, what happened with Alex. I mean, we were having a great battle there, and that was so much fun. I was trying to get behind him, actually, because I knew that he was a little bit quicker. And I was going to try to fuel save a bit and then jump him on the pit stop. But like you said, once the incident occurred, it was pretty much just me trying not to lose the car on the bumps. Started taking it a little bit easier. Had a couple moments. I think I went fully sideways coming out of turn 1. Almost lost it, but I was able to save it. But yeah, it's really tricky, honestly. It's a great combination, and you wouldn't think about it as a great combination the first time. Like, when I looked at it the first time, I'm like, okay, this can't be good. But it's really tricky. It's really challenging. I mean, even lapping it for 40-some laps, I never lost interest. It was still a lot of fun.
How was the tire degradation? Was there any? I know that it seemed like very towards the end of the stint, a lot of people were just kind of hanging on.
I would definitely agree. There was one definite lap where I went around corners expecting the grip, and it just wasn't there. And the same thing happened to me at Mid-Ohio. I went off the track from third and then finished fourth because all of a sudden the tires just lost grip. It just wasn't there. So it's definitely something that I need to pay attention to a little bit more and kind of expect, because I generally run GT cars, and unless you're running the tire really, really low on the tread, it's not as abrupt as it seems to be in the PM18.
Well, first win of the year. I think this is your team's third or fourth win this season. So another win for Renovo. I know they got the watch party going on right now, because we got Matt
Yes.
in chat who's put some messages in there. So go ahead and give your shout outs to those at the watch party and anybody else you want to say hi to while we got you here.
Yeah. Like you said, thanks everybody at the Renovo watch party for hanging out. It's always fun having you here. And yeah, thanks for Renovo for giving me the sponsorship along with the team. And my family's probably watching, so thanks for watching. And yeah, everybody for coming out, and you for doing the broadcast. I appreciate it.
All right, well, there's your winner today, Michael Janey. And we are moving on to Iowa and the Oval next week. So change of pace a little bit, change of atmosphere. What are you expecting on the Oval?
Well, I'm not very good at ovals. Unfortunately, I was killed early on in both Phoenix, and I didn't take the start at Lucas Oil because of the scheduling dilemma. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge. It really is, because I generally don't have a lot of pace on ovals. I can't get a couple tenths out of it like some of the really quick guys can. So it'll be an uphill battle, but I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Well, you got some momentum. You got the P1 today. You got a week to practice. So good luck, congrats, and we will see you next week.
Awesome. Thanks. Have a great night.
And there you have it. That is your winner, Michael Janey. And again, hello to everybody at the Renovo watch party. So once again, we'll look over the final standings. Michael Janey, your winner. Alex Van Ascent, P2. And I can see Yoshikawa, P3. That is your podium right there. Rounding out your top 5 is Daniel Smith and Savion Ragster. Your top 10 is Wes Shire, your points leader, John Cosgrove and P7, Simon Fell, James Curtis, and Ivan Pandev. Bringing out your top, that's your top 10 there. Bringing out your top 15 is Alex Simkowski, Derek Putnam, Alex Teeter, Matt Houston, and Michael Hannekamp. And we got one more page to go here. As we got the last 3, we had 18 show up. I think we only had 17 take the green flag, though. Tony Patty, Mike McCullen, and Logan Spaeth. I don't think we have anything else. Again, fast lap was, in case we didn't really talk about that, but in case you missed it, it was Alex Van Ascent with the purple lap, so he did get the fast lap. It looks like Michael will get 3/4 of the Grand Slam, but not the fast, or actually half the Grand Slam. He gets the win and gets the pole. Doesn't lead all the laps, but Alex got the fast lap. So that is your Grand Slam statistics there. But I want to thank everyone for watching, whether it be at the Daredevil Brewery, at the Taproom restaurant, at one of the watch parties, just someone cruising around on YouTube saying, hey, this looks cool. You've been watching Race First coverage, round 7 of the Reddit IndyCar League's Daredevil Turbo Series, where we were just completed our race here at Sebring on the club course, and your winner, Michael Janey. Want to thank everyone for showing up tonight, and join us next week as we will come to you from Iowa on the short track that races like a super speedway. Till then, I'm Gary. Everyone stay healthy, have fun, and we will see you in a week in the cornfields. If you build it, they will come. Good night.